Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Lunch Global. Today, kids have their own ideas about what makes a great lunch, which can be a challenge for parents who want them to eat healthy. From pizza pockets and veggie fried rice to macaroni muffins and hummus wrap. These dishes go way beyond the typical ham and cheese sandwich. Not only will the tasty options please even the pickers of young eaters, but many are also suitable for kids eating vegan, gluten-free, egg-free, or dairy-free. Many of these recipes are also quick to put together and make a great package or the on-a-go lunch for adults as well. If you have got kids, then you already know that in order to keep them full between breakfast and dinner, you've got to pack their lunchbox full. And as much as your little ones probably love a good food, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly sandwich and some homemade cookies, it never hurts to have options. Best of all, these ideas are perfect for elementary school students, twins and teens alike. Looking for a low-lift place to start? Fill your freezer with homemade sandwich pockets. You can make a bunch in almost no time at all, and your little one will love digging into a sandwich cut into a fun shape. From colorful wraps to homemade chicken noodle soup, these tasty bites are guaranteed to make your little one smile. And of course, it's a moment where every other child has resumed school. And I said it earlier, you know, the old-fashioned way, we just have to up our game, because in as much as these kids love what they love, they also want adventure when it comes to food. So you have to try your possible best to be creative at all times. And today we have the perfect ideas and options for you to make a lovely lunch pack for your child. Thank you for joining me today on Lunch Global. I am Chunk Anamel Joseph, and we'll be right back after this short break. Welcome from the break. If you're just catching up with us today, we're just looking out for your kids. Of course, giving you more ideas, more options on how to pack their lovely lunch box. In as much as you as an adult cannot do without having to eat in the afternoon, then how about your little one? How about your kids? You know, gone are the days where you want to jam pack all the old food, like the noodles, the peanut, the bread, and all of that. But then you should be able to be creative in making your dish. And starting today, we'll start with the vegan hummus avocado wrap. A vegan hummus avocado wrap cut in half and resting on the blue plate. Use recipe avocado or even leftover guacamole and protein-rich hummus to make this vegan hummus avocado wrap. Add some sprout or salad green for crunch, but if sending to school, leave out the tomatoes to avoid sogginess. Plain hummus is delicious, but a flavored variety like roasted red pepper will also work nicely. So, you know, there is emphasis when you're packing it for lunch, you shouldn't add up tomatoes because it makes it smudgy. You know, the water in the tomato, avocado is there, you have vegetables, and then the water in the tomato might make the kids not to even like it because you're packing it in the morning for the child to take it to school for lunch. So if you're packing this if the child is not eating it immediately at home, then you should avoid using tomatoes. But instead, you can use bell's pepper, you can be roasted red pepper or yellow pepper or even green pepper. So that makes the food survive the test of time. Moving on, we'll be looking at vegan Asian rice salad. So this particular Asian rice salad, you know, we know that most kids don't like vegetables to say. They prefer taking maybe carrots and maybe light vegetables that are not really pronounced because sometimes I think the color can scare them. So on this vegan Asian rice salad. The rice is there, and we know how young kids love rice. It's like rice, including adults, is like rice is one of our favorite dish, you know. So 2 plates full of a vegan Asian rice salad with a golden fork off to the side. A healthy vegan Asian rice salad with plenty of vegetables is a fabulous way to give vegan kid a boost of energy at lunchtime. Brown rice is full of protein. Vegetables, you want them to learn how to eat vegetables. You don't force vegetables on your kids, or you don't force any food on your kids, but you can keep trying and trying and trying, and gradually the kid is going to pick up from that. So this Asian rice salad is a perfect idea for you to pack on your kids' lunch pack. Whether it's warm or it's cold, the child will still eat it, because salad comes cold, you know. In fact, sometimes we like salad directly from the fridge. That's okay. But then for the sake of the rice, you know, it might just have this warmness, and that's why it is packed in the lunch bag. Moving on will be a boost of protein, while the oatmeal offers some fiber, meaning this energy bite will leave your little one feeling full and satisfied through the rest of the day. So, kids love chocolates, and that's why you need to add a little bit of sweetness. It can be white chocolates, it can be the dark chocolates, you know. Let them just have that sweetness so they'll be able to eat it. The oats is there for them to be able to be energetic and leave them full for the rest of the day till they are back from school. And for the fact that you're not always there to even satisfy their need, that in school, you should make sure that they are having enough food that wouldn't distract them or wouldn't make them hungry to the extent where they will have to cry and ask for something else to eat. If you're feeding yourself with the right meal, trust me, your child or your kid is even more important than you, because you are an adult. You can resist the hunger stress, the hunger pain compared to your child. And at the end of the day, when you don't provide them with the right food, they'll end up having to ask their friends or probably ask their teachers, and you're just teaching them how to beg, which is very wrong for a child. So moving on, we'll be looking at cheesy meatball buns. Overhead of 3 meatballs bump with 1 on a plate, broken open, and 2 other in the background. This cheesy meatballs bump that starts with packaged biscuits dough explored with flavors, filled with the Italian favorites of meatballs, tomato sauce, and Parmesan cheese. Your kids will think they've won the lottery. When using leftover meatballs or pre-made frozen, this recipe comes together quickly. Serve these meatballs with some marinara on the side for dipping. Now, you can serve these meatballs with any sauce for your kids, you know. It should have 0 pepper. Meanwhile, there are kids who love to eat pepper, and there are kids, I feel it's okay when you put a little bit of pepper for the kids for your child to eat. That doesn't mean you are making it very excessive, but when the child is very little, maybe he's still learning to eat or thereabout. Of course, those cannot go to elementary school, probably crèche, or maybe they are just having their nannies around and then teaching them how to eat. You should avoid pepper entirely, because you know kids are messy eaters. They can just eat and finish eating and rub the food on their faces, and you have to avoid using pepper so it doesn't affect their eyes at all. Next is the ultimate avocado toast. You know, someone told me that, why do you like avocado? Avocados are very, very good, healthy, easy to eat. Now your child can easily put them in their mouth, and then it's like you just licking something, and then it just go in without stress. 4 slices of avocado toast on a plate with tomato in it, so it looks even more interesting to eat. A snack of meatloaf muffin resting on parchment paper that is on a white plate. Give kids a comforting home-style lunch with this recipe for cute, easy meatloaf muffins that are made from a classic meatloaf mixture baked in muffin tins. The ketchup topping is sure to be a draw for the little ones, and the fact that they can eat their lunch with their hands make it even fun. And don't forget, these are like finger food. They can just pick it. You don't even need to feed them with it. And if you want them to eat, probably using their cutlery, is also easy for them to enjoy it. And it's just ketchup. There's no paper. And that's why I said you have to avoid using paper when you know that the child is too young for him to eat by himself. So he avoids getting them into his or her eyes. So at all times, make sure you do the right thing. And imagine those meatballs coming as though they are cakes, you know. The kids or muffins, the child will want to just go in and just eat because it looks as though they want to eat cakes. And you know how kids love cake and all of that. And this meatballs muffin is just the goal. In case you're tired of your child eating too much of sugar, then you should learn this recipe. It's that easy. You mash your beef together and then put it in the muffin bake pan, and the next thing you just bake it, bring it out, top it with the ketchup, serve it. You can serve it with anything, and make sure when you're serving it with juice, it should be like fresh juice. No packed juice at all. I don't think it's that healthy for your child. Moving on, we'll be looking at crock pot chicken. So noodle soup, overhead of a bowl of crock pot chicken. Make this tasty soup on the weekend and freeze it in individual portion for heating and packing into a thermos for school lunches any day of the week. This recipe is the real deal, starting with chicken peas, but also includes some chicken broth along with water for an extra boost of rich flavor. Now, this noodles is like, how would I call it? I call it like a porridge. That's why it's a soup anyways. That's why it's watery, it's easy to eat, and we know how kids love noodles. It's like noodles, it's one food that every child loves it. I don't know if it's because it's the fact that it's just this straight and all of that, but then kids love noodles. So when you bring in that noodles, you make it like a soup with vegetables, with any other thing you want to put inside, it goes even much more better than making food for them that is not quite healthy. And one reason why most kids don't like eating vegetables is because they've not learned it early enough, you know. You've not taught them early. So they just eat what they know. But once your child is already used to eating that particular food and he knows it, he easily goes in with it. But because he doesn't get to see it, growing up and he sees vegetable, it will be like, no. My mom or my dad doesn't like this, and that's why I'm not used to it, you know. So you have to start teaching these young ones early enough. We're going to take a very short break and we'll be right back shortly. Make sure you stay tuned because there's so much more. Hello, you're welcome back from the break. This is Lunch Global, and I am Chung Annamel Joseph. If you're just catching up with us today, make sure you don't miss out on any episode, because what is your life without good food? You have to look out for your health. You have to also look out for your loved ones. And today we're focusing on those little ones around you. What are you feeding them with exactly? Are you just giving them the same meal over and over again? You have to graduate. You have to leave that level and move to the next level. And moving on with the business of the day, we're going to be looking at pasta salad with chicken and spinach. A bowl full of pasta salad with chicken and spinach. Send yours to school with this packed pasta salad full of chicken, spinach, tomatoes, and other crunchy veggies. Use cooked leftover chicken, canned chicken, or rotisserie chicken for this tasty salad recipe. This recipe is very forgiving, so feel free to change some of the ingredients to suit your child's taste. And it's easy. It's a pasta, and there's salad, and there's chicken, and there's spinach. It's easy. You already know, okay, you have to cook your pasta. When it's done, put in your vegetables, put in your chicken, make sure the chicken is cooked, don't use raw chicken, and then you can add any other ingredients that you're very sure your kids love, because you are the one that knows your kids. You know that your kid better than any other person. If the kid doesn't like bell's peppers, you can use tomatoes. If he doesn't want spinach, you can use kale. You can just always, you can decide to create your own. Just because I say, okay, you have to use spinach, you have to use this, you have to use that, you have to follow my recipe. No. But this recipe guides you. It gives you an idea on how you can go about all of this. Moving on is the pepperoni pizza sliders. So this pizza sliders look as though it's just sandwich. A baking sheet with 9 pepperoni pizza slider next to each other. Your kids will cheer when they sit down to this pepperoni pizza sliders with layers ingredients from pepperoni pie onto the slider buns to create mini pizza sandwiches. They can easily be made ahead and then baked and pulled apart for lunchtime. This combination of cheese sauce and pepperoni with a garlic butter brushes on the roll also makes for the perfect after-school snack. These are not food that are made with magic. These are things you can make it in your home. You can get your normal burger bread and decide to package it in a nice way. You can get your normal sliced bread and do the same thing. All you need is the cheese, the cheese, the chicken, the butter, the pepperoni. The cheese, the sauce, the pepperoni. You can use garlic, but if your child doesn't like garlic, avoid it all times if they don't like it, because there are people who react to it. So if your child has allergy when it comes to garlic, then you just have to make sure you avoid it. So don't try it on your kids just because the garlic should be part of the ingredients. It is not necessary, and that's why we make emphasis at all times that when your child doesn't like something, you have to avoid it. If not, they will run away and they will never come back for it. Moving on is salmon and cream cheese tea sandwiches. 2 small blue plates and 1 large white platter with salmon and cream cheese tea sandwich on them. Cream cheese and smoked salmon have traditionally been a favorite topping for bagels, but this combination can also make a wonderful filling for finger sandwiches. This recipe is a quick and easy addition to a light lunch for your more adventurous eater. Place the tea sandwich in a cold bag with an ice pack to keep them chilled until it's time to eat. And that's why it is called iced tea. You know, it has to be chilled. Make sure that it doesn't get hot. You're not toasting it and you're not warming it or anything. And that's why it needs to be chilled at all times. It's nicer to eat it when it's that way. Moving on is the vegetable beef soup, which I love. You know, you can make this beef soup for adults, for kids, but for kids, you have to make sure that the beef is either mashed or is tinely sliced, and then it should just make sure and it should be cooked very well. Let it be soft enough for your child to eat. And for the kids who are toothless or they don't have teeth yet growing, then you have to just make sure that the meat is super soft and then super grated, so it's just dissolved in the soup and then it can easily swallow. 2 white bowls filled with old-fashioned vegetable beef soup. Cook up a big pot of this warming vegetable beef soup on the weekend for thermos lunches. The recipe is packed with tomatoes, green beans, carrots, celery and onions, but you can add whatever vegetable you have on hand, such as corn or zucchini. This recipe freezes well, so divide the soup into portions, freeze, thaw, and heat for quick lunch. And last on our list today is the honey fruit salad, which is super good. Now, this honey fruit salad can always come after food. It can come on its own because fruits can be filling as well. It depends on the particular food you're eating. You know, not the watermelon, because when you take watermelon, the next minute, once the water is there, you're hydrated, but before you know it, you're already feeling hungry. A white and blue bowl filled with a honeyed fruit salad. For those hot days when kids crave a lighter lunch, the sweetened honeyed fruit salad with honey, lemon, and just a little sugar does the trick. Eliminate the white wine because they don't need it. Use whatever fruit is in season, being sure to include your kids' favorite. Pack it into a plastic or glass container and add some cheese cube and crackers to their lunch bag as a delicious snack. Because imagine they can sometimes they don't just want to eat, so you just give them, it's like a snack day, but then make sure the fruit is there and make sure what is happening that season. If it's a season where berries are just everywhere, include berries, and make sure you have a little bit of cracker biscuits and something else to just pack into their lunch so they can always snack on it anytime they wish to. So for the sake of time, we're going to put a stop at this point. Thank you for joining me on Lunch Global today. I am still your host, Chunk Annamel Joseph. I hope you had fun today with me. In case you want to share anything with us or you want more ideas, more help, trust me, we're always here to give you a hand. You can send it on all our social media platforms and we're going to be here to give you a response. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.